Welcome to the COMiX News WiRE, where we get our news from the comics newsroom found at comicbookadvocates.com. This show is anchored by Mr. Anderson, who is the unboxable, advocating creator known as the Indie Comics Devil, who will tempt you with his devilish tales of fetish, monsters, and more. Join him and his co-anchors as they give you the comics news coming off the wire. This show is brought to you in association with comicbookadvocates.com is the global digital Comic-Con, but it's more than that, and you can be more too. Be more than just a fan. Become an advocate for comics like comicbookadvocates.com is for their creators, for their crowdfunding, for the very books they're creating, because we love comics.
At Geek Insider, we foster relationships with those in the geek sphere so we can give our audience the insider view of entertainment, tech, and more.
New from Terraform Comics, Hybrids, The Sons of Gods, Volume 1, Trash Day. When everyday people develop godlike abilities, it is up to a small band of heroes to expose an evil superhuman trafficking ring. This 128-page volume merges history with fiction in an exciting, fast-paced adventure. Get your copy now.
Welcome to Backer Pause. What is Backer Pause? Well, it's when we get judges who are creators to sit down and watch crowdfunding videos that we are proudly advocating for on comicbookadvocates.com. And they hit pause when they lose interest in the videos that we are watching and experience Backer Pause. This is a fun way to teach creators about attention spans of the viewers and what works and does not work for their videos. Want to be a judge? Are you ready to play? Welcome to Backer Pause. Hello, everybody. We're at Backer Pause. It's an exciting edition of this. We have the returning Chuck Pineau, creator of actually this program, believe it or not. We're joined by his one of his creations, Linc. He was one of the guys that was with me. Actually, he was the guy. I think it was just me and him, and we were bored one day doing just another Kickstarter. What do we call it back then? Kickstarter talk.
Yeah, it was just Kickstarter talk, and so we started doing stuff. I remember we were watching a video, and one of us was just like, "That's enough. That's enough."
Then we started we were like, we're gonna get canceled. We're gonna talk about that in a minute about all of our opinions. We'll give the warning, but I wanted to bring Chuck in to talk about the book I like, Linc. I mean, they spell it wrong on the cover, but it's all about this little imp, and I'm gonna let him tell you all about it.
This is Belial, and of course that's my good buddy Linc. And Belial is all about the original creator of Hell, Belial, and how he has to take back his powers that were usurped by Lucifer and the Four Horsemen. And so he wants to take back his entire kingdom and make it as it was once more.
All right, and we're gonna actually play the video live right now. So
now, I want you to know something. We just dropped this late last night. We just added a new video.
Ooh.
And when we made it, I had this show in mind. Everything that I've said to other people, there's not as much of the personal stuff in it. There's a little bit, but I wanted to keep it short, sweet, and fun. So
see, I saw the original video, and I already had a list of things I was going to do it to make fun of you with. So now I'm on the spot here. And of course, by the way, I'm the announcer voice student. Before we start the program, there are two important videos that we want to roll. The first is about opinions. So just so you're aware, welcome to wrong one. False flag.
Welcome.
I
You
know.
make it sound so sexy, by the way.
Thank you. I tried. All time I was just thinking, when Chuck's on here, I want him turned on. All right, so here we go. Warning and disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed on this live feed are those of the guests, speakers, and or hosts, and do not necessarily reflect the beliefs, official policies, ethics, or positions of the content providers, advertisers, additional hosts, and or guests, hosting sites, groups, or entities attached to this programming. Viewer discretion is advised. All right. So talk to us. What's going on, Chuck? How's the campaign going before we play the video? Because there's some news. Like this campaign is.
It's good, man. It's big. We had a lofty goal, and the reason was with everything that's going on right now. I always worry. People do judge you because of your goals, and our goal is 3,900. But really, it's about paying for. We did go a little into debt for this one, so we had to pay for everything that or a lot of the stuff that we had to pay for with this one. Plus, we're super worried about shipping. Obviously, shipping literally is. I think it's going up again this week by 40 cents until like December or something. So that's another thing that we had to consider and all that kind of stuff. And then also, we wanted to be able to start and move on to the next one. We really want to just not it was almost a year and a half between books, and that's way too long. So we wanted to pivot straight into the next one. So we're also raising enough money to take care of the pencils for the next book. But starting the day at 50% funded and over $2,000 just is amazing, and almost 100 backers. It was just fantastic day one. I couldn't have asked for any better, really.
And you want to mention the reason you guys saw hybrids in the opening was they won the project to back this week. They got
cool.
Belial wasn't actually part of it yet. It had not been released, so it could not have been part of it just yet. We could have added it, but it would have been unfair. I'm sure Belial will get the winning spot in the next week or two, because Chuck's usually good at asking for people. For those who don't know, and we'll show it at the top of this, we have some important information at the beginning. But right now, we just want to play this video and show off, because Chuck came all the way here, busy schedule. So let's show Make Mine a Double. Oops.
What up, my demons? I'm Chuck Pineau, one half of the Belial creator team. We're super excited to bring you double the fun, double the hilarity, and double the pain in this crazy underdog adventure where our boy, Belial, the original creator of hell, takes on two horsemen, Pestilence and Bandit. We have lots of great rewards for you, such as amazing variants by superstar artists such as Steph Wilson, Chris Madd, Thomas Tenney, and even more to come as the campaign rolls on. We would love it if you checked out everything we have in store, because it's only going to get better. Thank you so much, and stay evil.
Now, stay what? Chuck, what was that? Oh, you're muted. What was that supposed to be?
Stay evil.
I thought, okay. So it does come out enough that you realize what I was saying. I like it better than the other one. I'll give you a lot of credit. Right. I was going to rip into you. I was looking for tears on that. Like, I saw the original. Like, it reminded me of the car stereo I had back in the 90s when my actual car stereo broke and we got a cheap thing and put computer speakers. And you kids don't understand. Your computer speakers are like made by like Beats and stuff. We had computer speakers that barely made sounds.
So it's funny. We had a song made. So the song that you heard underneath there was by a band from Toronto, Ontario, Canada called Pioneer Anomaly. Very good friends of mine, including a good buddy of mine. We've been friends for over 23 years, and my little brother Matt. And so it was very important for us to make a video around that. And it's like a 5-minute video or a 5-minute song, but you heard like 30 seconds of the song. But it was really important for us to include that. And so when they weren't quite ready in time, I was like, crap, I just have to put something together real quick so we have something. And then, so I made that literally the night before we launched at like 11 o'clock at night. And then yesterday when I got it, the song first thing in the morning, we sent that off and we made that happen. And it all came together during the day. Eric Cockrell was good enough to make us a video. So that was cool. Yeah. And we're all very proud. And we think things are going well. Like, oh, fam.
You can't see me today because I'm just the announcer voice dude, because I don't like to be in the spotlight. You don't want this kind of ugly scaring away people when you guys are on. So I'm just the announcer devil today. I should put the announcer devil. Why haven't I done that yet? See, you bring out good ideas in me.
I try. But you know what? It's Halloween. I think it would be the perfect time to see the devil.
See this horror show? This horror show without makeup? I don't know. We're not ready yet. But
without makeup.
Without my makeup. I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready. I'm just not. I was not prepared.
So you listeners out there, he needs some eyeliner and some blush. Like, come on. This guy brings you quality programming all the time. The least you could do is get him some lipstick or something. You guys, come on, people.
Don't forget the mascara. And this is Hybrids. Now, Hybrids does have a different video, which we're going to watch in a second. The one thing I'll say about your video, I think it was well done, but there's one thing that I think that is just missing in the video. And like you said, it's that personal touch. We don't really get to hear about it. So, but you can't always have it all. And we've said that before with some of these things. Sometimes you just have to choose. It's like a tire. I don't know if you guys know this about a tire, but a tire can do one of three things really well if it's produced well, but can't do all three at the same time. It can accelerate, it can brake, or it can steer. It cannot do more than one thing at once. Your video did 2 of 4 things. So how can you get mad? Tell Wendy I said hi.
I will for sure. What would you say are the 2 things that it did well?
It made me want to look at the project more. It made me want to examine it. And it made me feel like you guys take yourself seriously. This is a project that is loved, that people want. It gives me enough information. This feels like a teaser trailer, which works on Kickstarter. It does.
Yeah.
You can't say teaser trailers don't work, because the whole point of that video is to make me want to read and hit the pledge button, which I did, by the way. I got the Chris Mad cover.
You did.
I think we should show the Chris Mad cover.
Yes. So in all honesty, it's one of those things where everyone's like, I can't choose my favorite child. No, I can. And right now it's the Chris Mad cover. Like, I love that cover so much. That's my concept. I wanted that, and that was something that I gave to him, and he delivered. And so he did the pencils on that. Then our boy Sean Barber came in and did gorgeous inks on top of it. And then my man Wes Hartman, who has worked for tons of places, Marvel, DC, Image, all sorts, came in and just killed it with the colors. And I remember telling them, dude, I want like the anti-sexy cover. I want the sexy cover that makes fun of sexy covers. And so we've got this gorgeous, this pair of gorgeous babes, and Linc decides he's going to Photoshop his head on top of one of them. How is that? Just, it screams Belial in my mind.
Oh, no, it's perfect. And we've been on this show and we've made fun of these covers. We've taken shots at these covers.
Yeah.
And, we've talked about, even in Barbaro, when we get back to production next year, one of the covers you're going to see is going to be a cheesecake cover where Bruce is hiding the first cover, using the first cover to hide his junk on it, because we like to make fun of it. So when he told me there's some other artists he has on this that I knew were going to be art that I not necessarily my cup of tea. And then he told me about this one. So we were just talking in the background. He's like, yeah, I know you don't really like that artist. I'm not going to say who, because it's rude to say it. It's just not, and it's not that I don't like them. I like them as a person just fine. I like their business model. It's just an art style thing. And that happens. But he told me he was doing a cheesecake cover. But he's like, no, but wait, before you get mad, hear me out. And then he told me the concept, and I was like, oh, yeah. And I told him right away, his book can afford these because they're in hell. Yeah. There could be so much. I was like, you should get a girl tied up, getting whipped by Linc. I started giving him a list, and he's like, calm down. Calm down.
And I learned so much from working on your books. I'm like, there could be a St. Andrew's cross.
That's right. You know what I'm saying?
Like, I couldn't have said that 3 years ago. But, yeah.
He's like, there's 2 other issues coming. Calm down. There'll be time.
All right. There's definitely time. Yeah, man, you know what? It's all about bringing the fun. I can't do this on Welcome to the Void. You're not going to see a sexy cover, most likely, on Welcome to the Void. So this is where we get to play with that and have some fun with it. And that's what the book's all about, is just having a good time.
Yeah, and it's like, even with my book, Barbara Unleashed, you have to be careful because there's a serious context to everything we're doing. While the second series, because it'll be broken into series, is a lot more sexual in nature, so we can probably do the covers and not have to worry as much because we've pre-established. Doing something like this is a risk to a property, except for Chuck, which has nailed it. Absolutely nailed the right way to do it, to have fun with it. And of course, that angel character is more than just a pretty face, right?
Yep. Chemosh is going to be, she's not a huge part of issue 2, but we get to see her. And
who let the dogs out? But no, I saw, if you look at the preview pages, she shows up a couple times in the previews pages. So you could tell. And there's some preview pages you guys got to check out on the actual Kickstarter itself, because they give you a little taste of it. Linc was one of my favorite characters. Once he's done with these 4 issues, I'm going to push somehow, some way. Linc and Barbara are going to meet up. We've talked about it for a while now. And the possibilities for Linc to be able to go to any universe and have fun just amazes me. It's one of those characters you're like, damn you, I want to steal it from you. I mean, can I borrow him for the weekend?
Dude, by the way, what just happened now, you moved seamlessly from, hey, I'm talking to Chuck, to I'm going to just take this on my own. And that was awesome. Like, seriously, guys, out there, you don't understand that Rob Anderson is actually a professional. I was able to walk out of the show for a second, and you really didn't notice it. He just moved seamlessly in. So I want to give you some love for that, because a lot of people, as someone who has now been on a lot of shows, I can say I saw that and I was like, wow, he did really good. So giving you some love there, as you gave me love.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. And yeah, the more shows you go on, a lot of people always wonder why I don't go on anyone else's shows but my own. You're kind of hearing it from Chuck.
It's true, man. Like, and I've been on, you get on shows where you start to feel like, oh, should I host this thing?
Exactly. Like, should
I've had yeah. No, I've been on, because again, I've hosted a lot of these shows, I've done a lot of other of my own stuff, and so partway through, you're like, should I ask questions? Should I try to make this about you a little bit more, because you're not, like this isn't working. So yeah, man, I'm totally much respect to you.
I'm famous for not saying a word until a host goes, Rob, you really haven't talked, and I'm like, that's because you never asked me a question. I was like, I'm not going to step on anyone's toes. I was like, I've just been waiting patiently to be asked a question. And he's there like, oh, I didn't know you were that well behaved. I was like, no, I'm just a professional. And it's like, gotcha. Kidney shot. Don't mess with me, motherfucker.
It's so funny because I've done the same thing where they're like, Chuck, you're unusually quiet. And I'm like, it's because usually it's just me and someone else. And so we can go back and forth and do this little dance, so to speak. But when it's 6 people, I'm not going to dance. You know what I mean? I'll jump in when I can, but, a lot of times I'll just get silent, and it's just like, don't get to me.
And it's also the host job. That's why I get so mad at some of these hosts. You're supposed to involve the people. I've been on shows where they've waited an hour to call someone into the room. I'm like, you can't do that. That's so unprofessional. That is a waste of their time. And I have rushed people when I'm on shows and I'm co-hosting. I'm like, okay, it's time to get to this thing. It's time to do this. And, I've had some great experiences, don't get me wrong. But interview-wise, like Chuck said, I'm at the point in my career where if someone wants to interview me, I want to know who the setup is, where it's going to be, who's going to be on the show with me, and what are the topics. And it's not because I'm some prima donna. It's, hey, I might not be good for your show. I literally, because I'll get quiet when it's not my show because I'm on enough. I do enough of these shows that I know the deal, and I don't want to step on anyone's toes. That's the whole thing about being a professional. I've seen Chuck. Chuck will sit there. Chuck has been caught in some awkward scenarios in his career where he's got the help me lights and no one notices it. And I give Chuck the ultimate get out of jail card free. And I'm going to give it to everybody. Your internet went out. Remember those words. Whenever you're in a place where you're like, oh, hell no. Do not wait for the exit. Jump out the window and say, oops, my internet went out. See you guys later.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember you telling me that, and I was like, oh, that's so smart.
So smart.
It's just crazy.
Sometimes you just got to pull it. And look, we're not trying to come down on people. People doing interviews are doing an amazing job. It's just harder. And I can equate it to this. Everyone knows they want to drive the car. And once you get used to driving, you hate being a passenger. Or at least some of us do. I hate being a passenger. All right.
And you know what? It's hard to have a perfect interview, just like it's hard to have a perfect Kickstarter video. And so you've just got to try for both to include as much of the right stuff as you possibly can, so everybody leaves going, cool, that I enjoyed that, you know?
Yep, it's definitely true. All right, let's and now it's going to be interesting for today's backer pause. We're going to have Chuck answer how he would answer normally, and then we're going to ask him what he think Linc would think about the video. And the twist here is that Linc is going to be uncasually nice today, because we're going to try to challenge Chuck to have Linc say something constructive, but in a Linc way. So we're going to see it, because we're trying not to be rude to anyone. We don't want to.
I'm gonna see if I can find my Linc voice.
It's hard to play another character. Like if you're a writer and you have a kid's book and you keep playing with your voice, you keep trying to figure out how to not sound creepy and not use your own voice.
Right?
So, good luck with that. Good luck with that. All right, let's check out Hybrids, our winner of the project to back this week.
Several major religions across the globe recount a similar story about angels, or sons of God, who take mortal brides. These unholy unions produce a creature known as the Nephilim. Stories of the Nephilim predate the first known writings of the Greek gods by nearly 1,500 years. Many experts believe that the tales found in Greek mythology are actually just exaggerations of the real-life Nephilim. With so much of history pointing to the reality of this event, what if the Nephilim really existed? Our modern knowledge of DNA tells us that it is possible to pass down a fraction of that angelic DNA to their offspring, and that it is possible for people today to be walking around with this hybrid DNA. So, what if something happened to awaken that dormant trait? Unlike other dormant traits that may give you red hair or blue eyes, this trait, if awoken, may give you the power to lift buildings, or teleport, or even control things with your mind. In Hybrids, the Sons of Gods, that is exactly what happens. Seemingly out of nowhere, people begin developing godlike abilities. However, they vanish after they develop these powers. It takes a small band of intrepid heroes with a very personal connection to these events to unearth who is taking the people, why they are being taken, and where.
Pause.
In Hybrids, the Sons of Gods Volume 1 Trash.
Talk to us.
So you noticed something about yourself, and so what I found was partway through, I touched my screen so that I could see how much longer this was going to go, and we were only just a little over halfway through it. It felt long-winded.
But in fairness, this is a trade. That we do have to point out, this is a trades are tricky.
I get it, but I felt like, especially the setup and whatnot, he wasn't setting up the whole trade. It wasn't even talking about the trade. It was talking about the history of the Nephilim and the history of these creatures. And that could be described so much quicker. And there was a lot of, for me as an editor, I would say there was a lot of like, what ifs, like what if this and what if that? No, tell us what it is. Don't, hey baby, sorry. Kind of like, it's one of those things where it's like he was dancing around the point rather than making the point. I do like it. It's a very professional video. I love the music and all that kind of stuff. The production value is really great. I would just say the actual verbal content could certainly be kind of edited down and parsed down a little bit. And as someone who knows the story, I like it. I think it's a great video and it's a great story and everything. I just think it did feel a little long-winded.
And what would Linc think of this?
Okay, so Linc, I would say he obviously read way too many Bibles, but there's a lot of beautiful chicks in there, and it looks like it could be an awful lot of fun, though it really needs more demons.
I like that. All right, so thank you for showing up, Linc.
Thanks for having me, Devil. Big fan, long-time listener.
Yeah, I would love to hang out with him for a weekend. Being in New York Comic Con, going to the dungeons.
The dungeon. Oh, my. Yes. There's so many people I would need to be introduced to because I've read about them.
Linc sounds like a Jewish accountant from Queens.
I know, right? We did have him as kind of like a sort of an Italian mook kind of guy, like a little Gambino sort of dude, you know?
I just see, but he's badass. You guys don't understand. You have to read the comic. Hybrids is available on Indiegogo and Kickstarter. Do you think that's something that we're going to see more of? Being on both platforms at the same time, I think it's a brilliant idea, and we've been in a room when I've suggested it. And I know Indiegogo means that you're supposedly part of the whole cult underground where you pray to. Yeah, I don't
want to buy. So we do know that certain segments do end up enjoying Indiegogo more, but I'm not even really thinking about that. I feel like the way to go is Kickstarter to in demand on Indiegogo. I think that's just perfect. I don't love the idea of having two places to go. It starts to confuse people and whatnot. I would rather send people to one place at a time. That's just me. Personally, it's also easier to deal with that. But I think that the idea of doing a Kickstarter and then taking that straight into an in-demand, I might actually even, I've already been thinking, like, is that what we want to do with Belial? Would that work? And I'm feeling more and more like that's something that we might just do this time around.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, of course, this is the time to choose here, the official polling. We had 9 votes. I haven't updated it. That's why it doesn't represent the fact. I think it ended with 10 votes for hybrids. Congratulations again to Luke. And there's that cover again. Oh, Chris Madd, I love you.
I know. Oh, he's so talented.
And I didn't get to see him this year. Remember, you can get a free copy of New York Reporter. I think Chuck's read this. I've given it to him. I just don't know if he ever read it.
I believe I did.
Okay, yeah. Because he got all my earlier work when we started working together. I'm giving it away for free for emails because it's been such a shitty year. I wanted to do something nice for everybody. I wanted to get it out. So
I thought that was super sweet.
Yeah, it's given. I could have gone back to doing the Written Sins Volume 1, but I was like, I have a moment where I can do something nice for people with some of my older work that I gave away for free. Why don't I try to do that right now? And if you want to be a judge on the show, and by the way, you'll be able to see Chuck as he becomes the announcer voice dude in just 2 weeks. In just 2 weeks, he becomes the announcer, and he'll get a guest and play backer calls with them as I go on vacation. Ooh. Is it from Colombia?
No. No. Okay, so this is from my dude, Zach Gray. And this is my first ever major indie comic writers publication. This is I got into Antarctic Press's anthology, and so these are the books. Thank you. And so these are the books, and this is my first major writer's credit for a major publisher, and so I'm so freaking excited.
Yeah, it showed up.
Oh yeah,
Can't-
okay, yeah. I'll rip it open.
This is, I get to use my breaking news. Oh,
Right?
Here we go. Breaking news.
This is literally breaking news. That's it. Oh, that looks so good. Oh my! Oh, there's a ton here too. Wow. All right. Planet Comics, number 2, and oh yeah, there it is right there. This is my first story, and
you open it?
Pardon me?
Are you the first story?
No. This is the last story. We end off the whole thing.
Oh, you ended. Okay, still good.
Yeah.
Either you want to begin it or you want to end it. You don't want to be in the middle.
So what's crazy? I love telling this story. It's one of my favorite stories. What's crazy about this is that my dude Zach Gray met him at multiple conventions. So he's the nicest dude around, and he's always trying to like kind of scout for new talent and stuff. And so at the first show I ever did, Alamo City Comic Con, we became friends, and he called me over over this craziness that's been happening. He called me. He got in touch with me around April, and he said, "Hey man, I want to get you your first credit with AP. What can we do?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm in. I would love that." I said, I'll do whatever. Like, what do we need to do? And he goes, "I don't know." And I said, "Why don't you, because he said that AP really wanted him to work on something. So I said, why don't you call them up, ask them what they need, and we'll just make it. And that way we know we'll get in. We don't have to screw around and play with editorial. We'll just give them exactly what they want." So he came back to me and he said, "I have good news and bad news. The good news is that they want us in their anthology for sci-fi. They want a 5-pager. I'm like, "Great, yeah, fine, done. We'll do it. How is there bad news to that?" And he said, "Well, the bad news is," and this was at a Thursday evening after dinner, he said, "they need it by Monday." And I was like, "What, like the pitch, the script?" And he's like, "No, the whole thing." And I'm like, "Well, are you serious right now?" And he said, "Yeah, do you have a script available?" I was like, "No, but I can get you one. Like, I'll stay up all night until it's done." And he said, "Oh, okay, all right." He said, "Well, the other issue is we don't have a colorist, we don't have a letterer." And I was like, "Okay, fine. You know what? I will write a dialogue-free comic, completely wordless comic, and that way we don't need a letterer, and we'll just push it to black and white. So as you guys can see, this piece is completely free of any dialogue whatsoever." So I had to walk in with those shackles and do a completely dialogue-free thing, and it came out. I haven't read it all the way through yet. I wasn't able to see all of the art because he just had to bang it out and send it off. So I haven't even read it yet. So it's out, and I'm excited, and we got it done in the 4 or 5 days. So it was a really neat thing, and I think that challenge brought out the best in both of us.
Congratulations. Yeah, and Chuck was also part of the challenge for the comic book school 8-pager that's now going to set off hopefully something that's going to be huge in the future of things. I'm super excited about that. I think that came together really well. And I had a lot of problems. I did not expect it to be the problem-filled journey it became.
Yeah.
So one day I said I'm going to make a comic about making that comic. It was so much of a journey to get that done, but I think it came out beautifully. Something else that came out beautifully is Drexel. Let's take a look at this. This is issue 3. And this is one of those where there's just music. So, and I think that hurts it, to be honest, because this is such a good story. I just think any narration would matter, but the art it wins. This is enough.
Oh, yeah.
Is enough to get, again, this captures you. Does one of the 4 things, because the 4 things I always look for in the video, by the way, is does it make me want to learn more? Does it make me feel like they care about the project? Does it look like it's a well-done project? And the 4th and final one, is it worth my money?
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of times you can see right away, because a well-done project might not be my money, because my money wants to invest in my fandoms. Remember, we were talking about art and type of art I like and dislike. I love my monster book, despite what people say about it. I love my monsters book. And
right?
I get it. Not for everyone, and that's fine. Like, this art right here This I like, but I've known some people who are like, the art looks a little amateurish, but it reminds me of the good old days with comics.
Well, so to talk,
go ahead.
so to talk real quick about Drexler, I would say it definitely needed words.
Yeah.
I get that you're on issue 3, but I think what we all need to be reminded of is that we oh, you've built an audience, that's great, but are you done building your audience? And if your answer is yes, then just stop. Because no, like, you should always try to be building that audience. This did not bring in new fans. It just said, "Hey man, are you a fan? Cool, check this out." But it didn't give me any of the information. It didn't get me excited, like as a fan who's never read it. It didn't make me feel welcomed and make me want to know more. However, it was well put together. It was short and sweet. I loved seeing the lettered pages. It gives me confidence. I saw one recently where it was the art and then the script, and I'm like, it does not take that long to get a couple pages lettered. You could literally get, just 2 or 3 pages lettered in hours, in a day. And so it to me, there's a certain amount of laziness that comes with that. So seeing that, I'm like, cool. He did his time. This thing is well on its way. It's going to happen. It infused me with confidence. So I would say this is a solid outing, but give us some more. Us new fans, give us something.
And do you think Linc would like something like Drexel?
Oh yeah. Linc, yeah, absolutely. He's badass. He kills people, and he's got tentacles, and you can do all sorts of crazy crap with that.
All right, so this is the Regulators. Like I was saying, this is a throwback kind of comic book. Some people don't like these types of older looking books, but I don't know. People need to stop complaining. I think this looks cool. Check it out. I'm just going to turn the volume down a bit. I mean, it's good art.
Yeah. Check out that little hottie there. Yeah.
And like you said, the lettering, and the lettering's done right.
Yeah.
I'm just going to mute it. I don't think anyone comes and talks, but they're showing. There's no sizzle here. It's all showing. But again, no narrative.
Yeah. And we've said it before. I get it. People are like, I don't like my voice. Get someone else's voice. You know what I mean? Like, get someone else to say it. It's 30 seconds. It does not cost much, and it does not take a lot of time. With mine, I wrote a quick script. I actually took what I had said in the previous video, parsed it down, made it sound a little better, and then read it out and got it down to like less than 40 seconds. They could have gotten someone else to do it, even just a buddy. Hey, can you do something real quick? But again, short and sweet. It was good. I like the art. I love seeing the lettering. That makes me feel good. I didn't mind any of it. I would just say it doesn't speak to new fans. We don't really know a lot about what's going on there. And I think that video, that's who it needs to talk to. More than anyone else, it needs to talk to new fans, not to old. Exactly. Old fans, they're already, like, when we launched Belial, we had so many people jumping on right away and getting their stuff, and I certainly didn't watch the video. And that's because they already knew what was going on. They didn't need that stuff. So I would say to creators, stop making Kickstarter videos for your current fans and realize it's to get new ones. Give them the video. That's who it's really for.
Yep, I completely agree. What do you think? Would Linc be interested in this type of book?
I don't love superheroes because they really make things difficult on me. But they had an angel, and if she's down with the demons, I'm down with her. You know what I'm saying?
I love that guy. All right, so yeah, again, I don't know why people always seem to talk bad about anyone who does art. And me and Chuck have been part of a conversation where I saw someone doing something that they called a throwback, and they were doing things I thought were disrespectful to it. You know what I mean? There is a way to not do it the right way, but this is, I mean, you could tell this is trying to take that 80s style. I liked 80s. When I see something like this, I smell newsprint. I smell.
I think it does what it does very well, and there's an audience for it, and all you have to do is say, I'm not the audience, and that's okay.
And now this is an actual tale that takes you over 10 years, because this is a 10th anniversary book. This is Amazonia. Now, I stress to you that this is an hour-long video. I wasn't sure you could do that. I mean, I think that this is from, it's an Indiegogo, so I think it doesn't matter what video you put in. Oh, no, it's Kickstarter. How did he get an hour video in here? Oh, no, here. We must have gotten the wrong video. Sorry.
Okay.
Wrong. I don't remember him having an hour video. We've had talks. We just had to keep scrolling. He gave us an hour-long video you guys can watch. Here's the 4-minute video that we're actually looking for. I was like, wait, Joe didn't do that. There we go. So, like, again, this is 10 years of him being a creator. In December 2008, Amazonia and the Continuing Adventures of E was published. See, I can't read fast enough for this.
Yeah.
Hello, I am Joe D. McPhee. I am the creator of Amazonia, the Continuing Adventures of E, a comic book series about Elisa Masters, who returns to find out that her hometown is in the clutches of a maniacal business mogul. Unlike most superheroes, Lisa does not know about her Amazonian heritage and tries to accept her towering presence and power as normal. I guess you're wondering why I created Amazonia. Being a Wonder Woman fan myself, many people focus on the grief mythos on what makes the Amazon. But during the storyline of Amazon Attacks, DC introduced the aspect of different.
Okay, I'm going to stop right here. When you have to draw for DC, and I like Joe, and it's not a bad video, it's worth watching. Just to me, as a backer, when you start talking about DC and all that, I can feel it. I can feel my interest getting lost. And I can see Chuck just trying to be nice on this one.
No. So my my eyes are really stinging and bothering me. So it actually has very little to do with this. I will say I knew I wasn't going to make it through because you're asking a lot for 4.5 minutes. We've talked about it before. 2 minutes is the sweet spot. You give me any more than 2 minutes, and if I see that it's longer than 2 minutes, I already start to go, oh, really? You know, like immediately I saw 4 minutes and 32 seconds and I went, I love you, Joe, but I'm not making it through this. Like I knew it. However, on the other side, he hit all the sweet spots.
Yes.
You know, like he was making it personal. He talked about the importance of the book. He showed off the art. He showed off lettering. He showed off obviously that it's been done and the history of it. So I think he hit all the sweet spots. I would just say, Joe, I know it's tough. 10 years is difficult. See what you can't do to condense it, and don't mention DC. Your property is worthy all on its own. You don't need to create an attachment to a quote unquote bigger property. What you're doing is really good. Let it speak for itself. It doesn't need any of those wires that people can trip over.
I agree completely. And I mean, you got to realize this is supposed to be a pitch video. Over a minute, you're already pushing it. Just that right there. Just think of it that way, over 1 minute. And Joe does a great job, and there's a lot to explain in 10 years, and I get that, and I respect 10 years. But this should have at 121, that's where my ADHD kicked in. He had me until that. When he mentioned DC, I realized he was going into a heavy sales pitch. The elevator pitch had ended, and now it was going to be this longer version of what events.
Well, and we don't need your heavy pitch on the video. The heavy pitch is for the Kickstarter page.
Or different.
That should be your elevator pitch.
And you can do a video in your Kickstarter. I say it to people all the time. Put another video in there.
Yeah.
Where would that be?
Yeah, certainly you can do that.
I'm not going to show you how long this video is. Don't look. Don't look.
Join Spartacus in his most epic adventure yet, traveling through an interdimensional portal, the paragon of the Extreme Champion Tournament, collide with the Infinity Multiverse in a limited series where you get to vote and influence the story.
G'day guys, Sean Keenan here, creator of the Extreme Champion Tournament. We are here on Kickstarter again to fund XCT Infinity, the industry's first ever Australian crossover between the acclaimed comic series XCT and video game multiverse Infinity Wars.
Hi, I'm Alfie Coyle, founder and creative director of Lightning Studios. The Infinity Multiverse is one with a rich history, experienced in video game form through Infinity Wars and Infinity Heroes by almost 1 million players over the last 8 years, and has some truly amazing and unique characters and factions. Death Witch cults, Zen monks, bloodthirsty knights on motorcycles, cyborg zombies, even genocidal tech angels. It's a place where truly anything could happen. When the idea of Spartacus being pulled from his universe into a wormhole and thrown into these new worlds became plausible, as either an actuality or perhaps just a really wild dream of his after a drunken night, we knew it was just something we just needed to create.
So what? Well, this is a crossover with a video game company. So we have everything from your standard digital and physical versions of the comic to the video game Infinity Heroes, the Hero Unlock deck packs. To top it all off, we've even got a Become Your Hero or villain in the comic and game itself. I know, cool, right? So what are you waiting for? Back now. Thanks for taking the time to check out this video and our amazing new series, XCT Infinity. Now, we hope that if you pledge and your support, that's greatly appreciated. But if you can share this around on social media, tell your friends, scream it from the rooftop, that will go a long way in us reaching our goal. Till next time, this is Sean Keenan.
All right, made it to the end. I'm proud of you. What do you
Thank you.
Hold on, I want to start with Linc. What would Linc think of this? Because I think Linc would be so excited by this.
So who doesn't love a good video game? I mean, parents hate them, and that's why they're great. So yeah, there's lots of killing, lots of blood, and lots of cool crap going on. So I would probably jump on this one.
And Chuck?
I liked it. I would say that it made me feel very nitpicky. Like I wanted to nitpick things, and I don't know why. I think it's just that Sean is such a professional, and that is a very solid video. It is a little long, but not very. How long was this one?
2 minutes, 30 seconds.
Yeah, okay. So it was a little long, but it didn't really feel long. And even towards the end, I was like, okay, you can feel it wrapping up, so that's all right. Just as it started to feel like it was a little long. So no, that's good. Yeah, like I said, I got a little nitpicky with it personally, but it was good.
Yeah, that's what you want to, I mean, yeah, he did a good job. You know what? It's funny because I had him on for an interview and he was like, when I was making this video, I was thinking of you, what you were going to say to me, what were you going to pick on me for? And I was like, I don't know what you mean. I'm a great guy. Remind me is on Kickstarter and Indiegogo. And I want to say, we've gotten a lot of great feedback. He has said that we have educated. We've had guests on here who are now like, you don't get it. I watch your show religiously and I see how you guys rip into things. And I'm super nervous about what's going on.
Well, and again, you came at me for mine, and I'm fine with that. I think it is all about the education. We're not, neither of us are interested in hurting anyone's campaign. We want all of them to fund. We want all of them to do well, but that does mean that you're going to notice things, and you're going to, what about this? Like, I've seen things, and I'm like, oh, that tier is bad. You don't want that reward tier. Like, that's just not a great idea. You know, like I've seen like a $25 graphic novel, but a $23 digital version. You're like, well, I'm not buying the digital. Like, for $2 extra, I'm gonna buy the comic. All sorts of stuff like that. So, you know, like, it's stuff like that. So we want to be there for each other, and so you're gonna notice the things, and you're gonna tell people. It was a good video though, Sean. Good job.
All right, absolutely. And we're going to have to, unfortunately, speed it up now because we only have about 9.
Right.
That's all right. That's part of the magic of this show now. That's an hour. It all matters. So I think we have time for 2, so I'm going to read you off everything we have left. You tell me the 2 you want to go for. Make the first one the more important one, so that one we'll definitely get to. We don't know if we'll get to the second one. So here we go. Search for, I want to say.
Sadiqua.
Yeah, I was going to say, thank you, Sadiqua.
I believe that's what it is.
Yeah, no, because we had a big debate about it when Victor was on here last week, and then we found out we were all wrong. So, I
want to do that one. I honestly, I've heard very little about this one. I would like to see that one.
All right, let's pick up number 2 then. For the second one, Gray Matter, we have the dark sci-fi series that is a Street Fighter redemption by saving a young girl from a horrific life. I don't know. I didn't know how that ended. I thought that was cool, though. John Celestri's John the Animator comics, which is coming to an end very soon, actually. He went to Kickstarter. Help him get funded. They make him a 2-time champion, Indiegogo and on Kickstarter. Here's Elysian Fields, the Pyramid Gambit, our winner of last week's thing, and he's doing something for Special Forces. I know you know Mike Moden pretty well. Yeah. And this is the Italian. It's the Spectrum, and it's about an LGBTQ superhero. Super excited to see this on the program. I think they're really close to getting funded at this point. Catch the Crazies, just zany, fun, wild stuff about podcasters trying to catch their crazed fans after their dreams. Or should I say wish in the middle of a forest comes true. The
Macabre.
Thank you. The Macabre Motel. This is from Frank Martin. What happens in the Macabre Hotel can change your life. Our boy, Monty Michael Moore. Art book. Yeah. And we have the Dreamlands #1, Lives and Epics. And, Dino Thrashers. I love Dino Thrashers. Just the idea of Dino Thrashers makes me giddy like a kid. And Only Death Can Save Us, a Bronze Age-inspired fantasy ROM. We have Seasons, Volume 2, the highly anticipated second volume in the acclaimed Supernatural series. Rumble Kings has no video, but we're just going to give it love. Rumble Kings 1 through 3, they skipped doing a video, so number love to Ryan Cummins and the team. Hybrids, this is, of course, going to be gone this week, so make sure that I promise I didn't put it in these many places on purpose. It's just I didn't know when the Indiegogo ended. Seed Sinkers, I think you actually might have edited this. It's a mini comic. Lord knows you edited it.
I might have.
This is a girl I would date, the 13th Moon Halloween Anthology, 52-page Halloween Anthology comic book compilation. And that has no video, by the way. And Sebastian Chow gave us this, The Rocket Girl, brand new to the program. It's a Rocket Girl children's storybook. So many Kickstarters, man. It's insane to try to get through it. And, of course, you know, Belial, we have to back this. This is a must-read.
Yeah, you do, buddy. Yeah. You got to totally back that.
Yeah, and that's it. And coming soon, while Chuck makes his decision, you want to get creating a Kickstarter video. You want to watch that from Camila Zhang. Did an amazing job. Coming soon. Rumble Kings has shown up, so I have to remove that. Indiegogo project from Matt's Burgers coming. We have Paranormal Academy. We have Sean Keenan's another one about Spartan Warrior. This is going to be a spinoff coming soon, and Nightwolf is returning as a trade, so stay tuned. Yeah. Amazing stuff. All right, so Chuck, you get to make a decision while we run a video. We'll be right back. Talk about the power of $1. Never underestimate the power of a single dollar. Just one single dollar can help make dreams come true. Every dollar is a declaration of support and belief. It helps the creators and the teams behind the book. Just $1 helps create new worlds and keeps creators creating. And if you're going to be creating something on Kickstarter or Indiegogo, get Kickstarter for the Independent Creator, second edition, A Practical and Informative Guide to Crowdfunding by Madeline Holly-Rosing and Christy Shin. It is an amazing book that will help you navigate the ins and outs of crowdfunding. All right, so we're going to play Chuck's first choice right now, and then we'll ask him what his second choice is. So here we go. This is 4 minutes and 38 seconds, so be mindful of that.
We will be stopping.
I want to get to the point where he's talking because I know you want to know about the project. So here we go. Because the first was just cool ad with art. Go back and watch it. Here we go.
Hey, this is Greg Burnham, independent comic book publisher, writer, creator, editor. I love comics, and so I do a lot of things involving comics. The Search for Sonica is a historical action adventure with a little bit of fantasy involved. It features a young lady who flees her home after the Tulsa race riots in 1921. She goes on this long quest across the Southwest United States to find like a mythological ancestor. So I did Kickstarter for it last year and got the first issue published. It's number 0 for the origin story. Now doing the Kickstarter for the first issue, which will be the beginning of her journey, the beginning of her quest.
All right, that's good.
All right, thoughts on it?
So I like it. I would say he needs a script. He needs to, there's some people who work well on the fly and some who don't. He should have a script. Don't tell us about your love of comic books and stuff. I have to assume you already love it if you're here. So I don't feel like you have to sell us on how you feel about comics. You made one. We get it. You know what I mean? So I feel like there's a lot of wasted time, which is why we have a 4 minute and 32 second long video. It's good. We obviously are going to get everything we need. The art's beautiful. I love the story and the idea of it. I think that's really cool. Just parse it down and only give us what we need. I don't need your pedigree. I don't need to know that you love comics. I believe you already walking into this. So sell us on the book and why it matters to you. Those are the main 2 things for me.
And that's fair. That's fair. All right. So what was the other project you wanted to look at? We might be able to squeeze it in.
Rocket Girl looked cute.
All right. So let's go over to Rocket Girl.
As 2 guys who are working hard on kids comics, we need to show off kids comics as much as possible. So this one meant a lot to me.
What 2 guys? You mean that Bobby Gregory guy in you?
Yes.
All right. So this is Rocket Girl. It's cute. I do think it's a longer video. So
I'll cut it.
If he doesn't hit pause, we're actually going to wind up just going off air. So we'll see if Chuck can let it end our program. So it's 3 minutes and 59 seconds.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I mean, already right there, guys. Cut it down.
You can cut 20 seconds.
Hello there, my name is Kai, and I'm a filmmaker, YouTuber, husband, and dad. And today I'm here to talk to you about the children's book, Rocket Girl. Now, the unique thing about Rocket Girl is that it actually already is a short film that exists online. I created it with my family, my wife and daughter, while we were in lockdown earlier this year. And it shows the world through the eyes of little Naya, who dreams of going into space, and in particular, the moon.
I always dreamed of going into space to see the universe.
Now, the reception for that short film has been really good. It was officially selected by a number of film festivals and has featured in our local online news. And you can actually go and watch that short film online now on YouTube. But I'm actually here to talk to you about a different medium for this story, and that is the children's book version of Rocket Girl. My wife Lauren has already adapted the Rocket Girl short film into written form for children. The story closely follows the short film about 4-year-old Naya, who loves all things to do with space and space travel. She has a little bit of a disjointed family life where her dad works a bit too hard and never seems to get home until she's asleep. Things soon change when she decides that she's going to go to the moon, and her determination and hard work to get there lead her on an amazing adventure that brings the whole family closer together.
All right, Linc, get to say goodbye. We're out.
All right, guys. Thanks for having me. Follow me on Belial. It's really my book, but I gave the big guy the title because, you know, he's bigger.
All right. Make sure you back that today. So see you tomorrow at 11 for the news.
Much love, guys.